Okay. Have you seen John Cleese's latest tour? I'm not saying have you been to it, but do you know what it's called? He's called his tour that he's embarking on I think it's in the Far East Summit at the moment, Why There Is No Hope. I mean, what a name for a comedy tour. Why There Is No Hope. We have chosen this year to be the year when we are going to come back again and again to the theme that there is hope. There is hope. And his name is Jesus. There is hope. Whatever else might be taken away, whatever difficulties we might face, there is hope. And Jesus is his name. And I wasn't here last week, but I managed to listen to the messages from Andrew and Derek, and thank you so much for those great messages about hope. If you missed them, great, go. You can still hear them on the website and on YouTube. Thank you for those messages. But this time last week at New Year, Pip and I were up with Mum, hi Mum, and my brother and the family. And New Year's Eve, my brother's family had one of these goggle things that you put on, and it's kind of virtual reality. You can see things and you can look all around you as if it's really real. Anyone seen those things? They look pretty cool on the TV. What are they called? Something like that. Anyway, I better not advertise it. But anyway, but what they thought would be funny is if they put them on me, and then put me into Jurassic Park. Because he knows I'm a bit jumpy with that sort of thing. Anyway, so I'm in Jurassic. Who's into dinosaurs? Oh, there we go. Can you do it? Can you? Well, I was worried about getting eaten by any of them, to be honest with you. Can you do your Tyrannosaurus Rex impression? Can you do that? Okay. Okay, no, don't eat me, don't you? Right. Okay. But anyway, I'm there, and the family can see it on the TV, and I can see it. I'm there in the park. And to start with, there's this little dinosaur looks quite friendly. It might have been one of those, I've no idea. Anyway, we have the world-leading expert on have a chat with Theo afterwards. He knows his stuff. Anyway, so there's this dinosaur there in front of me. I think he looks quite friendly. And then my brother whispers in my ear, "What's behind you?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" I'm sort of turning around, and I know. And then another dinosaur comes along, a little bit bigger, and I'm starting to get worried. And then, yeah. Well, I'm waiting for this T-Rex. I know it's coming. Because everyone knows a T-Rex is going to get you at some point, don't they? If you're injured. And anyway, and at one point, my brother kept saying, "Look behind you." And I kept looking behind, there was nothing there. And you could hear these noises, this rustling in the bushes. And then at one point, my brother jumped on me. Can you believe that? He literally jumped on me from behind. And I almost took him out. Anyway, so just the anticipation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex coming was absolutely terrifying. I could almost feel his breath on my neck. That was my brother getting too close. But here's the thing. It reminded me of when we were kids. We used to play games. Some of you might remember this. You used to say, who would win in a fight between, and you used to go, who would win in a fight between a lion and a shark? And some of you are like, it sort of depends on the environment, doesn't it? Who's for a lion? Who would win in that battle? A lion, you with a lion? Who's for a shark? Who's for it depends if it's in the sea or on the land, obviously. Okay, who would win in a battle between 50 lions and a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Oh, you're saying, who's for T-Rex? Yeah, hey, just step on him. Who's for the 50 lions? No way, what are you thinking? It's all right. Anyway, who would win in a battle between 50 worms and a Tyrannosaurus Rex? You guys are laughing. You go, well, what are you thinking? I mean, what about 100 worms and a Tyrannosaurus Rex? What, 150 worms? I mean, it's ridiculous to even think about it. Here's the thing. In Isaiah chapter 41, you might want to be turning to it. In Isaiah 41, verse 14, God describes his people, compared to him, as being like worms. He says, Isaiah 41:14, do not be afraid, you worm Jacob. Little Israel, do not fear, for I myself will help you. God is reminding his people, I believe he wants to remind us today, that, hey, if you think of that battle, picture that, what about a T-Rex behind me? Think about a battle between 100 worms and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Of course, the T-Rex is going to have more power and strength. We need to recognize, God says, that we're just like worms compared to his power and his strength. Who was Jacob? He says, oh, you worm Jacob. Who was Jacob? Jacob was one of the forefathers. He was a really weak, weedy guy. His brother was a bit rough and tough, Esau, but Jacob was a nobody. God's saying to people, look, you descended from a bunch of weaklings. You're just worms. You're nothing on your own, but with me, you got some super strength. And in the previous chapter, chapter 40, if you want to have a turn to that or flick to it on your iPhones or whatever you've got. In fact, let's get it on the screen. Let's read it together. Isaiah 40 verse 27 says this. Let's read together. Why do you complain, Jacob? Why do you say, Israel, my way is hidden from God, my cause is disregarded by God? Should we carry on? But basically he's saying that you might feel weak and alone. Maybe some of us feel weak and alone. You might feel weak and alone, but hold on a sec. What's happening? There's a greater strength available to you. Verse 28, let's read together. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. God was reminding them it's like a kind of worm's strength to a Tyrannosaurus Rex strength in the picture that I'm painting for us this morning. Verse 29 continues. He, that's God, gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But here we go. Wait for it, you see. Because we have our verse for the year coming up. Don't look that way, otherwise it gives the game away. Okay, don't put the camera over there so people can see that fantastic poster that Cole's designed. Great, thank you for that. But come back away from it now. Turn your eyes away from that, because we're going to try and see if we can remember what that verse is without even having looked at it, because it's quite a famous verse, isn't it? And if we can stick it on the screen, Don, that's all right. That'd be great. This morning we're saying we want strength, and do we need hope? Because that's what this verse is about. If we put the next one up, it says, those who, something in the wheel there, hold on a sec, we've lost some bits of it. Are there any youngsters can have a quick run around the church building and see in this part here under the chairs? Can you quickly see if you can find the other? We've got 4 words missing. See if you can find them. See if you can find that under the chairs. Get rid of some of that energy as well. Come on, then, you guys at the back in the football shirts. Come on, you guys are fit. I know. See if you can find. Okay, let's have a look. Don't give them a clue. Let's get rid of some energy for a moment. Okay, let's just. Oh, got the full Arsenal kit on. Loving that. Brilliant. Okay, all right, we've got one there. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. If your mum says you're allowed to come up, guys, just check with mum or whatever. If you're allowed to come up, you can hold them at the front. Are they allowed to come up to be on the live stream? Okay, right. Come on up then. Come on up. You can hold up these words. There we go. Oh, are you exhausted now? All that Tyrannosaurus Rex excitement. Okay, right. And Martin, there, you can hold that one. Okay, so should we see? Do you want to come on the stage with me as well? There we go. Oh, Josh, well done, Josh. Strong man, Josh. Mummy's going to help you as well. Excellent. Okay. Yes, that's okay. He can hold it if he wants, but he doesn't have to. Okay, right. Okay. So, those who, should we hold our words? What is the next word? Those who strength, those who renew, those who Lord, what we got? Is he right? Yeah, okay, so should we say it together? Those who hope in the those who hope in the Lord. Oh, come on, Martin. You can do all of that, Martin, come on. Be a T-Rex. Those who hope in the Lord will strength. Is that right? What should it be? Oh, your word, renew. Right. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Oh, wow, you got it already. So should we try it again? Should we say it together? Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Okay, you getting that? You getting it? Yeah? You're getting it. Right, okay. So should we cover up some words? Right, see if we can get it. So, next slide. What word are we going to cover up? Your one. Oh, no. Oh, it's gone wrong. Okay, right. Let's see if we can do it from memory. We've got another slide there. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Okay, excellent. Right, and once more, eyes closed. Everybody in the building and at home as well, wherever you are, close your eyes. Okay, we got it. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Where's it from? Isaiah 40, verse 31a, the beginning of 31. Right, round of applause to these guys, particularly Martin. Well done. Okay. It's literally on the screen. Isn't that cool? That is so cool, isn't it? Yeah. And it's on that one as well. Have you seen that one as well? At the back. Oh, yeah. And that one. It's everywhere, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. And that one, you missed out. Anyway, Mum's going, oh my goodness. Right, I've actually totally lost track of what I was saying there. Right, so those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Now, let's unpack that a little bit for a moment. What is God's hope all about? Those of you doing the word search, I know some of you youngsters got the word search at the back and that. How many of you have found the word hope already? Anyone found the word hope? Excellent. Some of us have found hope, real hope. Anyone found it on the word search? Someone got it there. Excellent. You got it. Brilliant, brilliant. There's also for you guys an amazing calendar you can be colouring in as well, and give that to your favourite grandma or granddad or auntie or uncle, or stick it on the fridge. Okay, grab some more on the way out if you need some more to be colouring in, reminding of that verse. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at this thing of hope. Going to touch on it. You see, what God is offering is those who hope in Him get a new strength, get a supernatural strength. Let me be really clear on this. What He's not saying is okay, you guys have got kind of worm strength. What I'm going to do is I'm going to soup up the little human strength you've got, and instead of the power of one worm, you're going to have the power of 1.5 worms. I'm going to give you 50% of what you got. Or I'm going to give you the set of 1 worm's power. I'm going to give you 2 worms' power. Well, that's really going to help, isn't it, in the battles that we face? No, what God is saying is absolutely incredible. What He's saying is that if you recognize that you're just a worm, if you recognize that you are weak compared to everything we've got to face, if you recognize that, then I'm not going to give you worm strength. I'm going to give you Tyrannosaurus Rex strength. I'm going to give you more than that. I'm going to give you supernatural God strength. There's just going to be more than 100 people's strength. It's going to be strength from God Almighty, the God that made the entire universe, the God who raised Jesus back to life again. I'm going to give you that power. Who wants that power this morning? That's the power we need as we go into 2022. That's the hope we need that's going to take us beyond the grave, beyond the problems, any problems we might face. That is the hope God offers us. That's what He's offering this morning. God is, we've got it on the screen, God is not offering to multiply the power of the weak. He's offering to multiply the power, His power, to the weak. That's very different, isn't it? That's very different. But the beginning of that hope is to recognize our weakness. Martin Luther put it like this. He said, it is as if God is saying, you must be weary and emptied, so there is no way out for you. Then I will give you strength. First, you must become nothing. Then consolation and strength will come. He said, this happened to me, Martin Luther, who against my will came up against the whole world. And then God helped me. Or God said it to Paul in 2 Corinthians 12. He said, my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I'll boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, says Paul, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That's why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, and I accept the fact I'm weak, then I am strong. Or to put it, who wants a maths picture? Come on, somebody wants a math. Okay, because of David, you're going to get a maths picture. Here we go. Okay. Confess our human weakness, and then we can receive God's supernatural strength. Should we say it together? Confess our human weakness, then we can receive God's supernatural strength. Hope starts with humility. Hope starts with humility. Now, children, I wonder if some of you can help me, and anyone who's mum, dad, grandma, granddad's happy for you to come up the front. Can you come up the front and help me? Because I've got this light, this really cool light, but I can't get it to work. I mean, it looks great. It's okay. There's a switch there. That's not doing anything.
You need to plug it in.
What? Plug it in?
Yeah.
You have to plug it in. Why do you have to plug it in?
Because it needs electricity. Yeah.
So, but it looks great as it is. That's what that bit was for. I wondered about that. Okay, do you want to plug it in there? Plug it in there. Oh, I won't shine it at you. I won't even shine it at the camera. But is it working? Oh, so it was supposed to be plugged in all along, was it? That's how it was designed. You're going as you lost the plot, yeah. Okay, if you want to sit down a sec, because here's the thing. Just like this lamp was designed to be plugged in, without being plugged in, I mean, it's never going to work. It's ridiculous. It was designed to be plugged into the power. You and I were designed to be plugged into the power that is God. That is how God made us. Without the being plugged in, if I just unplug it a moment, without being plugged in, it's like we're nothing. I mean, we sort of look up, but we're not doing what we were designed to do. To shine out with hope and strength. It's only when we're plugged into God's power that we can be who God's called us to be. Doesn't matter how many degrees you've got. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how many houses and cars you've got. We can only be who God's called us to be. We can only know joy and real hope when we're plugged into God. Should we say together, I want to be plugged into God? Maybe you don't want to be plugged into God. I want to be plugged into God in 2022. That's the only way we're going to know hope. Here's the question. How do you get plugged into the mains? How do you get plugged into the electricity? How do you get plugged into God? Call out. What are some of the ways we can get plugged into God? Prayer. Okay, excellent. We got a prayer week coming up in a week and a bit's time. Talk loads about it next week. We're going to be praying on our own. We're going to be praying as a church. We're going to be praying on Zoom. We're going to be praying together. We're going to be praying with the other churches across the town who are also saying this is the year of hope. This is the year our community needs hope, the hope of Jesus. And we're going to be praying together every day. There's different opportunities to pray. Some in the morning, some in the evening, some in the lunchtime. Different times we can pray together. that we can get plugged into God. God says that when my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. That's what it's about. That's what we've got to do. God, there's a special blessing when we're united together. That's why we're praying together as a church community right across the town. That's where the blessing is. So we can pray, good. How else can we get plugged into God? Any of the children got any ideas as well? How can we get plugged into God? How can God speak to us and help us? Yeah. We can believe, absolutely. We can believe in Jesus. Say, yeah, in my heart, I want to believe in you, Jesus. I want to get plugged into you. Yeah, absolutely. What else can we do practically? We can read the Bible. Okay, who's reading the Bible? Hope starts with humility. Be humble. Hope grows as we're plugged into God, so be plugged into God in the various ways we've reminded ourselves of this morning. Jesus is like the plug itself that joins us to God. Get to know Jesus, and he's like the plug that plugs us into the mains so we can receive God's power. Whether we're old or whether we're young, we can be plugged into God through Jesus. But here's the thing. Back to my lamp. If my helpers want to come up again, that would be really cool. Because, right, what we got is I'm just gonna unplug it, and we've got our light here. So now let's go back to the start. So I said, "Oh, it's not working," and you said, "What did you say?"
Plug it in.
Plug it in. So go and plug it in then. Plug it in. Didn't plug it in. Excellent. And so we get connected with God. Maybe we go to church, or we go to a church event, or we read the Bible, and it's sweet. Oh, you're too quick. Is he too quick at home? Yeah, I've seen him. He's very good. Right, so here's the thing. You got ahead of me there because basically we plugged it in there, but what did we also have to do? We had to switch it on. He looks at me as if I'm stupid. Okay. Does he do that to you? Okay. So you've got to plug it in and you've got to switch. Why do you need to switch this as well?
Because it needs to be on to work.
It needs to be on to...
You wouldn't want it on all the time, but in the night you wouldn't want it on, so it needs a switch so you can turn it off and on so you can turn it off when you don't want it on.
Yeah, did you get some of that? That's pretty handy. So apparently switches are so if you don't want it on, you can turn it. But here's the thing. If you can plug in, but there's got to be a point where you switch it on as well. Just going to church is not going to give you God's power. Just reading a bit of the Bible is not going to give you God's power. Even going to Alpha or whatever, that alone is not going to, it's going to plug you in, but it's not going to give you God's power. God's power only comes through to us when we say personally, we are going to flick that switch and we're going to allow God's power to go from the mains through the wire and into our heart. That switch is our heart. We are the only ones that can flick that switch, that can open up God's power to enter into our lives through Jesus Christ. We can go to the events, we can read the things, we have to decide personally. And for you children, it's the same for you guys. You might come along to church, you might do all sorts of things, read bits of the Bible or whatever. You need to decide personally, as adults as well. We need to decide, are we going to flick that switch in our heart and allow Jesus into our life, allow God's power to be at work within us? Now we do that. If you guys want to sit down again, can we give them a round of applause? These are electricians of the future and experts on all sorts of things. Brilliant. Can we just put the next one on? Because flicking that switch is basically saying we need to be obedient to God. Who watches The Simpsons? I'm not advocating The Simpsons necessarily, but some people watch The Simpsons from time to time. There's a time when have you heard the expression future self? Future self. Some people say, look, what I do now is only going to affect my future self, So I'm just going to have fun now and then just pay for it later on. Have a look at this little clip from The Simpsons.
Someday these kids will be out of the house and you'll regret not spending more time with them.
That's a problem for future Homer. Man, I don't envy that guy.
Okay. So that you didn't think you'd come and get a quote from Homer this morning, but that's a problem for future Homer. I don't envy that guy. He's just kind of living in the moment. When we make decisions, the best thing to do is to be obedient to God. When we're obedient to God in this moment, then we're going to be helped in the next moment. Being obedient to God today helps us tomorrow. Being disobedient to God today means we will be hurt and harmed tomorrow. If we can put the next slide up, just to be clear on that. You see, the one after that, I missed it out. Do today what we'll be glad of tomorrow. Don't do today what we'll be sad of tomorrow. When we're tempted to take that extra biscuit or look at that extra thing or to spend that extra thing or whatever it might be, this is making me glad now, but is it going to make me sad tomorrow? Do today what's going to bless us tomorrow. Or simply be obedient to God. Because God knows the future. God knows what's going to help us tomorrow, what we do today. So be obedient to God. That's the O of hope. Some of you are saying, it's building up the word hope. Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do, build hope this morning. And the final thing is this. Hope starts with humility. Hope grows with obedience, doing what God says today, moment by moment, as we plug ourselves into God. And the result is that we are empowered by God. Empowered by God and His strength. Not souping up the little strength we've got, but getting God's strength, electricity power, Holy Spirit power into our lives. The hope of the Lord, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. It goes on to say, why have we got an eagle on there? What does that verse go on to say? It goes on to say this. We'll look at it more another time. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. The Hebrew word for hope, it also translates wait. Some translations say those who wait on the Lord. It takes time. We plug ourselves into God. We switch on to Jesus, allow His power into our lives. And it's not a 1 minute wonder. We do that day by day, moment by moment. Plug into God, switch on to His power, receive His strength. We wait on the Lord. We take time for His power to grow in us and give us the strength we need. We wait on the Lord. So we listen to the words of this little song and just be thinking about, maybe personally, privately at home and here as well in the building. Let's just be thinking, I want to wait on God. I want to be saying, God, please, I choose to plug into you. Jesus, you're that plug. I choose to flick that switch in my heart and receive your power in me. Renew me. Renew me. Renew my strength. That word in the Hebrew, renew, it doesn't mean just grow what's already in me. It means to totally take off the old. It's used in Genesis for taking off clothes and putting on new clothes. Jesus talked about it for taking off the old and receiving the new Holy Spirit in Luke 24:49 as well. We renew our strength by taking off the old, by flicking the switch, by saying, God, would you clean me as I come before you humbly, as I choose to obey you. Would you clean me? Would you renew me? May I know your strength. Let's listen to the words of this song, and then we're going to pray.
hope song.
You see into this fragile heart, all the struggle and the pain. You hear my heart cry, and perfectly you sing to me songs of healing and songs of hope, hands that never let me go. The Father who made us, who watches and knows us, carries me through. Yeah, you shine into my broken heart, and you brighten all my days. You lead me onwards, and perfectly you sing to me songs of healing and songs of hope, hands that never let me go. The Father who made us, who watches and knows us, carries me through. Yeah. Wherever I go, you'll always find me. I cannot hide, you are there. And when I am lost, your hand will guide me. You hear my heart's cry, and perfectly you sing to me songs of